What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. Before we get started, please hit your like, subscribe, notification bell, and share this video because that's how others find me here on YouTube. Then make sure you are following me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me, and let's get it started.
So no, my thing is I take my hat off to Mel for being able to sit in the room, quite frankly. I don't know if I could sit in the room with my baby daddy. I don't. My son is 24 and I still have issues with my baby daddy. So I kid you not. This is the new normal that we have to deal with, but I take my hat off. Because there's some rooms I probably wouldn't go in, depending on, who had to be on the show.
I never looked at it. Yes, no, you're absolutely right. It's funny because, like you said, when it comes to Jalen's father, you do really think about, like, what would my life be if I had to continue to be around this person
every day, like filming and playing nice and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, we're at a much better place in life because Jalen grown. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to argue about what you're doing, what you're not doing, and we don't have to talk about that kind of thing. However, I was extremely sorry because my daddy took me to court. I didn't take him to court. He took me to court. So I've been salty a long time. I was salty a very, very long time. So I absolutely take my hat off for her being able to be in a room, nevertheless, across the table, whatever. I think that takes a lot of chutzpah.
Now that's a snippet from an interview that Kimmy did with Carlos King early last year. And you hear her say as clear as day that she still holds a lot of anger against her baby daddy and how she commends Melody for how she handles herself with her ex-husband. So what's going on in tonight's episode? We're about to see. The one thing Mel and Kim have always said about each other is that they will say whatever is on their mind or on their hearts, and however either one of them respond is what it will be. However, both of these ladies have said they know how to walk away without holding a grudge. Tonight's episode looks like it's going to put that to the test. Melody is already letting people know in the comment section, I ain't no baby mama. I was a wife. And so at one point, we all had the same last name. Now next, in another post, someone tried to clarify that when Jalen was an adolescent, he and Kimmy did have the same last name. To which Melody said, if we're talking about stereotypes and not wanting that, she also was a baby mama. Ain't that a stereotype in the Black community? Well, in a preview for tonight's episode, Kimmy, Tisha, and Melody are at a nail salon getting their feet done when Kimmy said, I dropped my middle name to keep Grant because there's such a stigma on Black children being born to single mothers. Kimmy feel away about Melody reclaiming the Rogers name and leaving her children with the last name Holt. The craziest part of this conversation is that all of Melody's children were born in wedlock and Kimmy's son was not. Kimmy Grant Scott, Grant being her maiden name, had also shared with Carlos King that her father was overjoyed that the Grant name would continue with her son, being that he had no male heirs. She said that she had made a conscious decision not to give her son his father's last name. So why would Kimmy even bring this up, knowing the trials and tribulations that stems from the Holt marriage and continues to be a burden? You'd think that this would be a no-brainer when it comes to supporting something as simple as reclaiming your name. Well, the ongoing theme that this desperate sister circle continues to convey is that when it comes to Melody, support is hard to give. Although Tisha has tried to deny it on multiple occasions, it was her own mother that let that cat out the bag when she announced that Tisha and Kimmy would talk about Melody like a dog, and she said that on the reunion stage. And Kimmy must have been throwing out some zingers too, because Wanda's greatest fear was that Kimmy was talking about Tisha to Melody the way Kimmy was talking about Melody to Tisha. And by the way, let's not ignore that that was Wanda's high-key way of gutting any type of relationship Kimmy was building with Melody. Because y'all know that would have definitely been a dangerous alliance for Tisha. 1,000,000 times more dangerous than any relationship that Mel was building with her cousin Kiki. Kimmy's bad attempt to guilt trip Melody about changing her last name was also a silent nod to Martell, who has already said on camera that Melody hasn't done anything great under her maiden name, Rogers. Which is also crazy because for the viewing audience, we're not familiar with anything great that has come from other family members under that Holt name outside of Melody, which is clearly why he was so butthurt about her changing it in the first place. Now, Kimmy coming for Melody about changing her last name is definitely a trash thing to do. However, it is right on par with what we've seen from Kimmy in the past. A prime example would be when Martell sat on that reunion stage saying that Melody had had an affair, which, by the way, is still a storyline for him this season. And then Martell going on to say all of the things he had done to support Melody in her dreams, as if that's not what a husband is supposed to do. But he was trying to give examples. And then he says something about driving Melody to Atlanta so that she could participate in a singing competition. But he couldn't remember the name of that competition. And then the camera catches Kimmy, of all people, mouthing American Idol to Martell. And I know that a lot of women, like myself, who watched that was thinking, WTF, Kimmy, have some scruples about yourself as a woman. Why would you, of all the people on that stage, give Martell anything? But Kimmy let us know in that scene that she still has a lot in common with Tisha, and that is their inability to give Melody her flowers. Like Wanda has already pointed out, and neither one of them have denied, they used to sit around and talk about Melody and make fun of her dreams and ambitions. They didn't believe that she would become and do exactly what she said she was going to do. That's why assisting Martell in what he perceived to be a diss is second nature to Kimmy. But you know what's really hilarious is that Martell has been able to do what Kimmy and Tisha have not. And that is give Melody her props. At least he said watching Melody do everything she said she was going to do is bittersweet. And it's apparent that Kimmy and Tisha are still undercover haters. Hell, they're not even undercover anymore. They're just flat out haters. So much so that Kimmy would rather that Melody stays connected to a man that has proven to be purposely doing more harm than good. But we're going to talk about it more tonight. In another preview, we get to see Tisha voluntarily bring the Marceau cheating storyline back to the screen when she shares with Stormy that Marceau took a boys' trip to Colombia. Now, unless she meant Columbia, South Carolina, that does seem like an odd vacation spot for Marceau and his friends, especially if it's his brother and Martell. But Stormy lets Tisha know that that's typically where men go to have a good time. And Stormy also notes that since Marceau is known for having a good time without Tisha, why in the hell would he choose that as a vacation spot? And for the umpteenth time this season, it also looks like Stormy and Marceau will be revisiting her calling him the B word. To which Marceau lets her know that if you keep it up, I'm just going to ignore you. Stormy threatens that Marceau can try that if he wants to, but he may end up with a cup of water to his face, the way his wife did. Y'all make sure that y'all join me live tonight after the show, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time. The link is already up. Also, make sure that you are following me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. Then talk to me in those comments, okay? Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification button, hit the share, okay? Share the video with others on the YouTube platform. Hell, share it with people off the YouTube platform. Just make sure that you get this video out here. And I will see you all on the next one.